All right, gang. Once again, we're presented with a plate of selection, a buffet of access points here that are going to be autonomous or lightweight access points, not the cloud-based Meraki's. These are the Cisco devices that you're going to use to manage your environment. So providing the client access, sniffing out the rogue devices, all that good stuff. So as we move from left to right, we're moving from value to enterprise, mission critical to best in class. But instead of value, I really like this phrase here, mission specific. In other words, there are key reasons why you're going to select a 600 or 700. Even though it may not support all the features and power that you have at the higher levels, there can be key uses that work great for your environment. So let's take a look at each of these in turn. Oh, by the way, if you were wondering, wait, I thought it was 1600, 2600, 3600. That's what I have in my environment. That was the last generation. The current generation, as of this class, is what we see right here. Those are the access points that are currently being released by Cisco. So again, very comparable, relatively speaking, 1600 to the 1700, 2600 to the 2700. Key difference being integrated support for AC is now built into all of these X700 based devices. So the 600 is very specific. All right, so we've got a radio and it goes all the way up to N. Great. A couple of spatial streams, 2x3 MIMO, MRC, 300 megabit data rate. It's an access point, easy enough. But the key thing here is that it's designed so that you can take a device and let's say it's designed for a home network environment. So we've got a device, it's plugged in at home, and then this device will actually take the internet connection that it has and automatically form a secure tunnel to your work environment. So here's the main office. That is where all the work gets done, right? That's the corporate website, the corporate file shares, the corporate email server, whatever it is you need. So this gives you a transparent access to not only being able to wirelessly get to the internet, but also through the internet to home base, to the actual business network. Very specific tool for the job, very powerful. Now, when we move to the 700 or 700W, we're really looking at something that's actually very comparable to what you might get in a home. If I was going to go buy an access point for my home environment, not buying a Cisco one, I might get something like this. So it's relatively small to mid-scale in terms of its support. It also only goes to 802.11n. 2x2 with 2 spatial streams, MRC, 300 megabit data rate. So, okay, pretty similar there. So really what we're seeing here is a device that gives me Wi-Fi access, right? The 700 versus the 700W, that W stands for wired. And that's because instead of just having one uplink port, this will actually have 4 gigabit ports so that not only can you have your uplink to your internet connection, you can also have some end devices that are associated with this, just hanging right off of it easily. So, all right, 700, 700W, low end, access point, very basic. These do support, by the way, power over Ethernet. The 802.3AF format is available to us, the lower power, and they're designed to be mounted easily. How about the 1700? We're beefing it up a little bit. Yay, we finally get to AC. Woohoo! This is what I've been waiting for because, again, a lot of times I want to have that option. 3x3 with 2 spatial streams, MRC, and explicit beamforming, along with client link. 867 megabit per second max data rate. Great. It's at this point that we get Clean Air Express. Clean Air Express is going to do a little RF management and help me to see what's going on in my network, look for rogue devices and other sources of interference with some sensing capabilities. So Clean Air Express at this level. We also get enhanced PoE instead of 802.3AF. We can get the enhanced PoE or 802.3AT, so more powerful power over Ethernet options. You can also, by the way, plug all of these in via DC. Then we have the 2700 series. All right, once again, we're at AC. We got 3x4 with 3 spatial streams. MRC, beamforming, 1.3 gigabits. Life is good, right? Why else am I getting this? Well, notice at this point, you've got some options. We actually see these options at the 1700 level as well, where you can have a 1700i, where you have an integrated antenna, or you can have external antennas. Those external antennas, of course, give you more options, right? You can change the antenna type depending on your needs. So that's an important option that's going to be available at this level. It's also here that you're going to start using HDX, high density experience. Sounds like THX, but it's a little different. It's all about getting the best wireless environment. So it actually includes the full version of Clean Air, Client Link 3.0 for beamforming, even to legacy devices. It gives you intelligent roaming. It gives you bandwidth selection to choose the right channel width depending on what's available to give you the best performance. You can even build user groups to control who has a certain amount of access to the Wi-Fi environment. So high density, especially for bring your own device environments, a very, very powerful, very important option to be aware of. Okay. Finally, the 3700, the beast, all right, also supports the I integrated or E external options for antenna. We're up to 4x4 with 3 spatial streams. Doesn't get any better than that. MRC, beamforming, and this supports modules. All right, modules mean that at this level now, you can get a module, for example, for security, and gives you some extra security resiliency features, intrusion detection and prevention. You can get a module for 802.11 AC Wave 2 support. Right, the enhanced Wave 2, extra options available for providing access with the Wave 2, right, higher bandwidth utilization options. All right, so what we've seen here is, again, very powerful. Let's take a look at just what one of these things looks like a little closer. All right, so we are checking out here an Aironet 2700, and let's you can see this one's an E for the external antenna. And let's flip this thing upside down and take a little closer look. We can see that we've got some console ports available to us here. So we've got power, we've got the console port, we've got the auxiliary PoE ports here available as well. So you'll notice that's actually 2 ports. So depending on what type of connection I want to make, I can plug those in. Now, keep in mind, right, the console port designed for a console connection. The power over Ethernet support is your standard uplink to an Ethernet connection. This is what's going to connect you to your switch, and it supports PoE if the switch port manages that, or the wireless LAN controller if you're plugging it directly into that. The auxiliary port is a new port, and it is not so that you can do link aggregation or anything like that. The idea of the auxiliary port is for downstream support for a single device, like a video camera or something like that, that you want to have a wired connection when everything else is based on wireless. So it's just kind of a single extra port that can get in there, kind of like an auxiliary jack inside of your car, for example, to be able to plug in your music right directly from a player.